let's hand crochet a chunky blanket. I began with 7 skeins of yarn. First, I take the yarn and cross over to make a loop, having the tail on the right hand side, the working yarn on the left, and then I pull up a loop. Here is our loop. Now we are going to begin our chain. So here is one, and then you're going to pull up another and another and another. And you do as many chains as you want depending how large you want the blanket to be. Mine was a lap blanket, so it was longer than it was wide. So I was 18 stitches. I did do this on a table. It was the easiest way to not have the stitches come undone. You can see where you can count each one. You can make this any size you want to, and you can see now that I'm pulling up the first loop. And you continue this all the way across. So each of these loops connect the blanket together. So it's important that you be sure to have the loop not too loose and not too tight so that you don't lose the stitch and you're able to get the yarn in the next time. So the very last one, you're going to pull up a loop like normal, but then you're going to pull up another loop because you're going to turn and go the other way. So each end, it technically will have a loop and another loop because you're going to turn and go the other way. And then the working yarn will always be the way you're working. This took me approximately 3 hours to do, maybe a little bit longer. It ended up measuring 83 inches long by 32 wide. And again, you can make this any size, any shape, put as many stitches in it as you want based on what you're looking for. You just saw me add another skein of yarn. You just tie the ends together. And then if there's a little excess, you can cut that with the scissors. I prefer, if I'm going to ever add another color, I just add it right away. I don't try to join it specifically in a row because I don't like to waste yarn. So I join it anywhere. And I ended up combining 3 different colors. It turned out great. It's very repetitive. So if you want to watch a movie, something like that, it's great. I do recommend you do it again on a table or a floor because it's very easy to lose a loop, which means you lose a stitch, which will make the blanket look much different, losing stitches. I loved using the dining room table because whatever I was done with, the completed blanket, I would kind of fold it up or roll it up so that it was just sitting right on the table. When it got too big, I would just let it hang down, but if you walked away from it, the whole thing would slide off. So have fun with it, try different colors. This is a really soft yarn that I used, and it's quite dense. So even though there are holes throughout it, because it's crocheted, the weight really does make it warm. On the very last row, you're essentially going to have loops go into each other, and they're going to make this beautiful end stitch. So take the working yarn and have it on the left. Now you pulled up a loop. Now you're going to put the yarn through the loop to the right to make a little bunny ear. So they're 2 bunny ears. And you're going to put one ear inside the other ear and have it kind of stand up. Now you're going to put the yarn through the next loop to make another bunny ear, is what I call them. And again, this ear will go through this, and you'll do this all the way across the top and see how it makes a beautiful chain. The very last one is a slip stitch, so you just bring the yarn all the way through the last stitch and it'll kind of make a knot, and then you can tie it throughout and weave the ends into the blanket. I enjoyed this, so have fun.